Before we get into the video, I do want to give you guys a fair warning that this game does tackle some themes of suicide, as well as homophobia and transphobia from loved ones after death. If these are upsetting topics for you, I would suggest either skipping those sections of the video or skipping this video entirely. Thank you very much. Hello everyone, welcome to a Mortician's Tale. It's a pretty old game from what I understand, or at least relatively old. I got it in a bundle several years ago. But yeah, you just play as a Mortician. Hello and welcome to our new funeral director, from Matthew Jeffrey to Charlie. Welcome, Charlie. Nice to meet you. My name's Matthew, and I'm mainly going to be the man who delivers the bodies to you and helps with some of the more heavy lifting. Ever hear that joke about a hearse driver? I'll tell it to you when I come by in a bit. Looking forward to working together. I think you'll enjoy working here. Amy is a sweetheart, but she runs a tight ship. Nothing you can't handle, I'm sure. She wouldn't have hired you otherwise. Cheers and good luck, funeral director. Charlotte. Our name is Charlotte, or Charlie. So, Charlie. And that is our boss, Amy Rose. Okay. Instructions. You'll find a cremation cremulator. Okay, how is that any different from cremation? Embalming and desk and computer. Okay. Jen love to Charlie. Huh, I guess my subject lines to you should start being more professional now that we are business professionals. I can't wait to get your reply so I can see your fancy new email signature. I love that you were able to land this gig straight after graduating. It sounds super cool. I didn't even know mom and pop funeral homes were a thing until now. Guess it's just not something I really think that much about. I should look more into this, learn more about your world and industry, because as I said, you are now a very serious professional. Speaking of being professional, my museum gig is amazing. I can't believe somebody paid me to move to London. And now London, Ontario, serial killer capital of Canada, to work in a museum. Like, take that, everyone who said I couldn't get a job with an art history degree. I'll tell you more about it when we Skype. My stories require you to see my face and that you hear my excellent British accent impersonation. Also, I signed you up for a funeral's monthly newsletter. Consider it your graduation gift. I love you and super proud of you. Gift. Love you, love you, love you. Jen L. Hart, Museum Curator, London Pathology Museum. From Amy Rose. Sure. Hello, Charlie. Settled in, should have dropped off your first body for you to work on. He said you were really friendly and he's glad to have someone young and lively to work with. You'll get used to his sense of humor. Your first body is Mrs. Garcia, an elderly woman who died suddenly of a heart attack. The family has asked for a closed casket funeral, so no embalming or body preparation is necessary. The family seems a little bit more united than previous families we've dealt with. Strange how grief affects people differently. Perhaps having more time to say goodbye makes things a bit easier, if that's possible. That being said, although you will not be embalming Miss Garcia, or Mrs. Garcia, I do think it's important to take the time to clean her body. No one is going to see her body, but I like to encourage my funeral directors to do this out of respect for the deceased and their loved ones. You'll find Mrs. Garcia in the prep room. Special requests, Dia Mia, of course, no embalming, closed casket. Mia Garcia, not embalm my mother. Closed casket, I just know she wouldn't have wanted her death to have any negative impact on the environment, and since she fought so hard to beat her heart disease and to live healthily, it would be ashamed to have her final moments to be counter to the way she lived. Month. This good etiquette for attending a funeral. Don't be on your cell phone. Yeah, don't be loud and obnoxious. Don't get drunk. Happily reminisce. Give condolences. Dress appropriately. Where's number 7? Y'all missed number 7. Come on. I thought you were a serious publication. 6 and then 8? Give a gift. Or sign the registration book. Ooh. Sorry, it's a little bit late at night. I've had a long day. Ooh, look at that price. Open casket. $5,900. $6,000. Oh shit. Okay, 4,000. That's not too much. Direct burial, no ceremony reception. 2,000. Direct cremation, no ceremony reception. 600. That's cheap as fuck. Oh. Personally, I think that I always wanted to get cremated when I died eventually. I wonder if you guys have ever thought about that much. I don't think I like the idea of being in some metal tomb forever. I'd like to be returned to the earth. I've read up on a couple of different traditional practices. I think there's either, I could be very wrong about this, but I believe in the Middle East or in some Arabic traditions, it's very common. It used to be the tradition to place the body under a shroud, under a tree. I know that there are some cultures that used to basically sink the body at sea. Of course, I'm sure we all know of the Viking tradition of burning pyres for those fallen. Although I don't know how often they would have done that. It doesn't seem like an extremely common thing to do for them. Honestly, just, you know, turn me into ash, chuck me around. I'd love if someone kept my skull. Someone should keep my skull and clean it. I think it'd be fun. Just have my skull on someone's mantelpiece, maybe 50, 60, even 100 years after I'm dead. They'll be like, oh, look. Sure thing, I'll get right to it. Maybe I'm a little macabre. Just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit macabre. This is the prep room where you will prepare bodies for burials or viewings. Oh, God. Because the family has requested a closed casket ceremony with no embalming, you are just going to clean the body. Click on the sponge and drag it over the body to clean it. Hey, this is just like playing Nintendogs. Yeah, just... Now I just need a shower to get off all the suds. That's it, you're done. Mrs. Garcia will be sent to Mike, who will take care of dressing it and putting her in the casket. It's time to go to her funeral. You are responsible for taking care of their body, but it is also important to pay your respects to their loved ones. Follow the arrow to head to the funeral parlor. She would have hated these paintings. She was so particular. Yeah, at least she doesn't have to see them, I guess. Yeah. That's... yeah, I guess. We usually don't small talk a lot at these things. At least that's what I was always taught. Well, I am. I hate wearing pantyhose. My legs are so itchy, but it's always so cold in these funeral homes. I think I might actually miss those sweaters you used to knit for me now. What about you, kid? Mommy, I'm hungry. When can we go? I have a vague memory of attending my first funeral. I was a child. It was my uncle's funeral on my mom's side. So her sister's husband. I forget what specifically he died of, and I forget what the funeral was like. But I have a distinct memory of being dressed up for it and being in a funeral parlor. Nothing much else. It kind of sucks not remembering that, because I don't think I was particularly young. Maybe 6. Old enough to remember something that should be that significant. And I don't know why I don't. Yeah, I heard the family specifically said no embalming. I thought it was mandatory, like required by law, but I guess not. Embalming weirds me out. Do those chemicals leach into the ground? Seems strange to be using a chemical that is known to cause cancer and putting it into the ground like that. Or into the sewer. That's what they must do with the leftover formaldehyde, right? Just pour it down the drain. At least embalming guarantees you won't be buried alive. Stop it. Don't make me laugh right now. I don't know much about formaldehyde, admittedly. Can I leave? I talked to everybody. October 11th, 10:09 a.m. Okay, so let me explain this in a bit more detail. A colleague and I were discussing the tight lacer's liver specimen we have here at the museum. It's from a woman who died in 1907, and the liver is tapered inwards from what the doctor leading the autopsy believed was too tight lacing on her corset. It's fascinating because it's kind of a controversial topic. Tight lacing was super popular, and while people associate it with fainting or hysteria, it's actually been associated with visceroptosis, which is when the organs fall to the lower part of the abdomen, right? Which is super unsettling, but can also be caused by being pregnant. So, TLDR, corsets probably messed up some bones, but likely didn't do this kind of internal organ damage. And I'm tired of the condescension about my wardrobe that also implies I don't know what I'm doing. These are the kinds of things I specifically research, and yet I'm treated like I know nothing about. I'm having a day, Charlie. Jen L. Can I rant for a second? I'm so tired of hearing strangers, colleagues, anybody, male colleagues, get on my case for wearing corsets. I wear them under my blazer and over a nice blouse, so it's not like I'm dressing inappropriately, even though the dress codes are such sexist BS anyways, and like I hate how their misogyny is veiled in faux concern. Jen, I'm just worried you're damaging your body. You know what corsets do to livers, right? Corsets don't do anything to livers. They're definitely not hurting me as much as your condescension is hurting my head. Ugh, sorry, I'm out of sorts right now. I'll send you another email in a little bit when I've cooled off a bit. Instruction for you did a remarkable job on the first one. Very happy with you. No small feat, of course. Pleading a grieving family isn't exactly the most comfortable of jobs. Your next job is a man named Mr. Duval. An elderly man died of old age. Nothing fancy, just a standard funeral with embalming. You can reach out to his daughter, Lizzie Duval, if you have any questions. She's handling her father's passing as well as can be expected. As always, ask me questions. Charlie, dear, please remember to wear proper embalming gear. Formaldehyde is extremely dangerous. I know I don't need to tell you, but my maternal instincts are hard to ignore. I promise I won't mother you too much. Well, just a little. Ask Matthew, he knows. Deepest thanks. Nice seeing everyone. Okay. Hey there, Charlie. I was driving around the other day, you know, taking our clients on their last trip around town, and I was thinking, strange, I know. Did I ever tell you the first time I went to a funeral? I was a teenager, about to start university, and a friend of mine was killed in a car accident totally out of the blue. Really tragic stuff. Messed me and my friends up real good. But, so, the big day, we all got into our best suits and dresses and packed ourselves into a few cars. There were a lot of us, so we had at least 3 different cars full of us. Like clown cars, you know. While we're in the procession going to the cemetery, someone in our car got a phone call from a friend in a different car. Turns out, some asshat driver who doesn't know to not get in the way of procession drove through the intersection and smashed straight into our friend's car. No one was hurt, thank God. But can you imagine getting that call? Anyways, one of my friends in the same car as me, the one who got the phone call, hung up and started laughing. Just laughing her ass off in that way that makes you not sure if they're really just crying or if they've gone fully off the deep end. And she laughed, and we all started giggling because, like, go figure, life is messed up sometimes, you know? There's no moral, no point to that story, I guess. I just remembered that story and wanted to tell you, because we work with death all the time, and I still sometimes get caught off guard by what that actually means. Oh, before you get any ideas, that has nothing to do with why I became a funeral director. That decision became totally later and is nothing unremarkable. Somebody has to do it, and I have a strong stomach, so why not? I'll see you in a bit, Charlie. Ooh, some lore about funerals. Look at this. Don't talk too loudly, be kind, smile, and refrain from making inappropriate jokes, at least around the grieving family. It kind of depends. My best friend, her brother, died recently. Well, within the past few years, recently. But recently enough. You know, we're young. We're under the age of 30. That's pretty recent. And probably will always be kind of recent to me and to her. But they were super jokey about his death. And a huge part of that is because he was a very much a jokester himself. So they kind of used humor as a form of coping, like as a coping mechanism, and to also sort of honor who he is and who he was, and carry that forward. So I think I have his death day marked in my calendar. And I try to make sure that I reach out to her and keep in contact around that time, or even just send her a little joke. Anyways, a big part of that is knowing what to wear. Roman Catholic funerals tend to lean more to the formal black attire rule, and it works for us. Did you know this goes back to the days of the Roman Empire, where people would wear black as a symbol for mourning? Black isn't universally the symbol for mourning, though. And if you're not attending a funeral that is from a culture that is not your own, and if you're attending a funeral that is from a culture that is not your own, it's important to understand this. Some colors have different meanings, and despite your best intentions, the wrong choice could mean accidental offense. In Hinduism and Chinese, white is a typical color for funerals. And for Islam, it's less about the color and more about how modestly you are dressed. Refrain from wearing any elaborate jewelry and be respectful of your behavior. For Sikh funerals, color of the clothing isn't as important as is dressing modestly and being able to appropriately sit cross-legged. Being respectful is just the #1 rule for any funeral, no matter what. Yeah, unfortunately, I've, well, I guess it's not necessarily unfortunately that I haven't attended many funerals, but I'm not super knowledgeable on funeral practices other than what is sort of become the standard for American for white Americans, sorry, white Anglo-Saxon Protestants. I'm not white, nor am I a Protestant, but most of the people that have died that I've attended the funerals of, they have been, and so has been their immediate family. So that's what I've mostly experienced. I did actually attend a military funeral for a past uncle within the past few years as well. That was quite a time. The military has a very, very specific way of honoring their dead. What was this again? Okay. Nothing fancy. Standard funeral with embalming. We're wearing our little scrubs. I love the character models. They're super cute. Typically require embalming, which preserves the body and prevents it from decomposing as quickly. Unless the family requests otherwise, all traditional burials will use embalming. Let's start by cleaning the body. Then 10 dogs this man. Click on the razor and drag it over the body to shave it. In order to break rigor mortis, you'll have to massage the body. Click and drag over the body to massage it. I did not know this. I thought rigor mortis is caused by a specific type of, I believe it's specifically from your muscles breaking down and, or not your muscles, but like your bones release calcium into your muscles, and thus it sort of solidifies and prevents them from moving. So I wonder how this specifically sort of helps them begin to move. The eyeballs deflate once the body starts decomposing. Click and drag an eye cap into each socket to give it shape. To keep the eyes shut, you'll need to glue them. Click and drag the glue onto each eye to shut it. The mouth sags and hollows once the body starts composing. Click and drag a cotton ball into the mouth to give it shape. To keep the mouth shut from opening, you'll need to suture it. Click and drag the lotion to moisturize it. This prevents the skin from laying out. Okay. Man, even dead, and we still have a skincare routine. What the fuck? Embalming involves removing blood and replacing it with preserved chemicals. Click and drag a scalpel over the neck to make an incision. You'll need a tube for draining the blood. Tubing. Click on the cannula and drag it into the carotid artery. This is how you'll get the preserving chemicals into the bloodstream. Next, you'll need to grab additional tubing and drag it to the cannula. So I need to do this, right? There you go. Click the button on the embalming machine to turn it on. Okay, gotta massage it. See, that makes sense. There's a lot of massaging. There's a lot of massaging. That's a lot of embalming fluid, I'm gonna be honest. Like a lot. So I assume they have to make sure that it's in the actual circulatory system and not just you know, willy-nilly in the body. You need to drain the organs of any remaining fluids. Bam. 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 And you're done. Mike will take care of Monsieur Duval's makeup, as well as dressing and putting him in the casket. It's time to attend the funeral. He always wanted to take his grandkids to the park, play catch. He loved playing catch. He threw a mean curveball, that's for sure. That's disrespectful, young man. So strange not seeing most people wearing white. White? Yeah, I think it's different for different family members. I can't remember. I haven't gone to many traditional funerals, so mostly white, but like definitely not red no matter what. Came out of nowhere. I mean, it always sort of does, doesn't it? Yeah, 1 minute you're laughing, having fun, and then the next, poof, that person is gone. Just like, gone. Yeah, it's weird to think about it for too long. Like staring at the sun, I start to feel all fuzzy when I think about it. Mm-hmm. So weird. How our bodies just stop working. Like that. Yeah. Yeah. Across peasants and kings, rich and poor, there is one thing and one thing only, that we are all equal. And that is that we all die. There's a lot of emails. Okay, I'm walking over. Chill out. Ooh, LGBTQ funerals. Wow, this is very, very... If I remember correctly, this game came out in the 2010s. So this is actually very progressive to talk about the misgendering and transgender people at their funerals. If you've been a long-time subscriber to our emails or follow us on social media, you've no doubt heard about the misgendering that trans people are at times subjected to during their funerals. There have been notable situations where trans women have had their wishes overruled by their families, have had their hair cut, are buried in the wrong names, and subjected to the wrong pronouns in their obituary announcements. We care a lot about this because we believe in treating every person with the same level of compassion, respect, and care, and its absolutely extensive pronouns, and respecting the deceased's wishes as per their lived experiences. The CDC Funeral Director's Handbook on Death Resignation, Registration, and Fetal Death Reporting offers the fraught directive: enter male or female based on observation. Do not abbreviate or use other symbols. If sex cannot be determined after verification with medical records, inspection of the body, or other sources, enter unknown. Do not leave this item blank. Leaving it up to observation obviously enters into a world of issues, since bodies can be so different, and because of ingrained bias, people can draw incorrect assumptions based on their own inaccurate observations. California has passed what is known as the Respect After Death Act, which states that the death certificate must reflect the deceased's gender identity as they lived it. So, a step in the right direction. People who are trans deserve the same respect in death that people who are cisgender receive. Misgendering in death takes away this respect. It can also inflict hurt and trauma on spouses and friends that survive the deceased. So what can we do as funeral directors? Listen to the people who come into the office. In America, especially, some marriages may not be recognized as legal depending on the laws around same-sex marriage, but this doesn't mean you're not dealing with two people who have loved each other in the same way as another couple. Listen, learn, and always be respectful. While you have to work with the next of kin, your duty is to also ensure the deceased receives the utmost respect in their burial. If your funeral is to honor the deceased, then do that. Honor them. Paycheck coming late. Oh no. That sucks. Meet cutes for death positive cuties. Charlie, I was doing some reading. I know you hate when I try to give you dating advice, but hear me out. There's this dating site that's specifically for people working in the death industry. Okay, so maybe I'm a little worried for you. You haven't mentioned anyone new since the break of 2014 that we will never speak of again until after this moment. But you're always saying how tired you get of people getting scared to ask about your day. So maybe meeting someone in the industry isn't the worst idea. Just promise me you'll consider it, okay? It's harder for me to make sure you're seeing sunlight when I'm all the way across the ocean. I know you look like a babe with pale skin and witchy goth aesthetics are... I know you look like a babe with pale skin and witchy goth aesthetics are super hot right now, but vitamin D is still a good thing. Mom rant over. I'm going to try it out because... turns out people get super scared off when you tell them you work in a museum filled with dead bodies. Do you know how not interesting other people find teratomas? Man, that sucks. Teratomas are fucking sick as hell. For those of you in the audience who may be unaware of what a teratoma is, it is technically, it's not necessarily a tumor, but it is a type of mass that can grow in a person that is filled with all sorts of things that's not supposed to be there. Particularly hair and teeth. It's a fleshy mass. A lot of the time, most people get it removed because it's starting to impact their GI tract. They'll have a teratoma in their GI tract, or in some other way, it'll present itself as what might seem like a malignant cancer, which is then discovered to be a teratoma. Very interesting stuff. A lot of them also occur because of, or some of them occur because of twin absorption in the womb. So a twin will absorb the other egg in the womb, and it'll still gestate and it'll still develop, but not on the same timeline as a regular human, and then they'll grow up and eventually have a teratoma. Charlie, I didn't know we were this weird to outside people. I've been spoiled by having a best friend who is as much of a weirdo as I am. Miss you. Let's grab a bottle of wine for our next Skype date. P.S. If you sign up for Dead Meat. This isn't that the best name for a death industry dating website? Tinder rules apply. You have to like me if you come across my profile or whatever. I'm not sure how it works just yet, though. Cremation. For a woman who died from breast cancer. Nothing fancy, standard cremation. Okay. Before we cremate Mrs. Hall, we'll need to prepare her body. Her family brought clothing and jewelry for her to wear. It's important to remove these before the cremation process as to not damage them. Let's start by removing Mrs. Hall's necklace. Click and drag the necklace and place it in the purple tray. We need to be able to identify her remains after she's cremated. Click and drag the round identification tag and place her in the coffin. Great, she is all set to be cremated now. That's it. Okay. Smack her in there. Bacon people. This is the cremulator. Contrary to popular belief, cremation doesn't turn into bodies into ash so much as bone fragments. Yeah, I need that. So like the flesh, you know, oxidizes and turns into ash, but the bones, they're just bones. Using the cremulator, we'll break these bone fragments down into ash-like remains. Let's start by placing the urn in the cremulator. Drag it under the cremulator by the nozzle. Drop them off. See, this is what I would want someone to do. They would, you know, they would cremate me. They would take all the little bones, and then instead of doing it with my skull, they would instead set my skull to the side and then give it to my family. Now that all the bones have been processed, click and drag the urn back onto the counter. Make sure to put her necklace back into the urn. Click and drag the necklace and drag it into the urn. And then the identification. Click on the lid. All done. Okay. She would have hated this music. She never wanted her funeral to be sad. She would have wanted us smiling. She said so. Yeah, I want to be cremated, and then I want my family to have a party. I want them to bust out the drinks, play all of the playlists and mixtapes I've made over the years. And I want people to get fucking crunk. Smoke weed, drink alcohol, have so much goddamn fun, make jokes about how I died, just like so much shit. Do not sit there and be sad while I am dead. Celebrate the life I had. Celebrate the things that I loved. She fought really hard. She was proud of herself. She never gave up, not once. Glad she was cremated and not in like an open casket or something. Seeing her like that, I don't know if I could have. At least we all got to say goodbye. She would have liked that. This is nice in a weird way. She'd like that we're all together talking. She always tried to keep the family together. The food is delicious. I know that's weird, but these crab cakes are perfect. Honestly, yeah, I get that. Pay our respects. I think I might have misclicked or something, but I might have already done it. February 14th. 10:14 a.m. Okay. Oh, we're already here. Keep on protecting Earth with green burials. Natural cemeteries aren't allowed to be involved with chemicals. Must be buried in a biodegradable shroud or casket. It's also cheaper. Natural burials just over $1,000. But really, why go green? Help preserve natural resources, work to reduce carbon emissions, protect the health of those preparing bodies, and restore preserved natural habitats. Involving fluids tend to contain formaldehyde, and funeral directors report a higher incidence of leukemia. Going green and not using toxic chemicals for embalming helps protect funeral directors while at the same time lessening the impact we have on the environment after we're gone. We here at Funerals Monthly think green burials are pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. Ooh, Jen. Charlie, I've been playing a new game when things are slow at work. It's called Tales from the Crypt Sweeper. Get it? Get it? It's like Minesweeper, but way harder. Like, seriously, it's really, really difficult. And I thought my Minesweeper game was on point after working that overnight front desk job at that hotel for 3 years, but I must have gotten rusty. Anyways, instead of mines, you want to avoid graves so you don't disturb the adorable ghosts. The main character also kind of looks like you. Want to start a healthy competition? High score gets to pick the restaurant we go to when one of us is in town next. Ooh, I can play? Oh, fuck. Can I restart? There you go. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. 3, 2, 1. I think. So there's 3 here. Fuck. So, oh god. Can I? Okay, gimme. Okay. So there's 1 here. So it could be this one. Man, I'm so okay. So is this 2? Is the 4 1? I'm so confused as to what each of them mean. Because this is 3. There's 3 around this guy. There's 2 here. I think I just need to decode that. Hi, Amy. I know this email might be a bit odd, but you said if I was ever having troubles, I should reach out and you would know somebody I could talk to you about all of this. I don't know what to do now. I know my grandmother lived a full, good life and was very happy, and that she's not in any pain now, but I feel empty, Amy. I've never felt this empty before. What am I supposed to do now? I thought I was stronger than this. Can you refer me to someone to talk to? I don't want to freak out my mom right now. She's dealing with enough with work and the will and trying to just be the best mom she can. I just need someone to tell me that it'll be okay. Thank you, and I'm sorry for being an inconvenience. I thought I would forward this to you. In situations like this, we typically connect people like Ryan with a grief counselor or other professionals who can really help them. Sometimes we get emails like this, when people don't know where else to turn. It's difficult, and family isn't always the most reliable for some people. Usually I would be happy to connect them, but I'm feeling a little tired today, not my usual self, and it would be good for you to start building these kinds of relationships on your own. You're a treasure, Charlie. Yes, are there any special instructions you want to pass along? Please just cremate my father. He has a pacemaker too. The doctor told me that would need to be removed. Okay. Oh wait, I need to read the other stuff. It's a thank you. Oh no. Rose and Daughters will no longer be in business. The truth is, I don't really know what to say. Since my father passed away, I've done my best to make Rose and Daughters warm and friendly to anyone who chose to use our services. It was my memorial to him, the original Rose in a lot of ways, and you've all become like family, including you, Charlie, our most recent addition. But it's been getting harder to make ends meet. Rent is going up in the neighborhood, and I'm fighting less and less like I had the energy for this business. There's a lot of competition from other funeral homes, larger corporations than we are that can take on more business and offer more impressive services. You know the way it goes. So, we've been bought. Or I sold. Either way, soon, Hillside Heritage Enterprises, Inc., a company that owns many funeral homes in the city and across the country, will replace Rose and Daughters starting from the beginning of next month. Same building, same name, but keeping the name Rose and Daughters Funeral Home for tax purposes. Though honestly, I'm trying hard not to just see it as a move on their part to keep up the image that it's a family-run business. I don't know how I feel about that, but I also don't know if there's anything I can do at this point either. I've signed the papers. At least my father's legacy is still intact somewhat. They have a good reputation and have agreed to keep you all on. That was one of my stipulations. I would sell as long as you all weren't without a job. Sorry I didn't tell you in a more personal way. I would have loved to have a company lunch, but I didn't have the heart to tell you in person. This was easier for me. Please understand. It's a shame. Mr. Reyes came directly from the hospital, so we don't have to worry about removing any valuables from him, as the family did not provide any for us to include. But he has a pacemaker that we'll need to remove. Okay, pacemakers are batteries. They explode inside the hot heat of the cremation machine, and we definitely don't want that. Okay. Click and drag the scalpel over the heart. And then, bam. Bam. There's a lot of reading in this game. Using the cremulator, we'll break these bone fragments down. Place the urn. The bones. The bones. I feel like there would be more bones. Can I click? Thank you. Can I wonder if he ever liked me. He was nice to me, but I don't know. Never really seemed like he cared if I was there or not. I always told him to quit smoking, but of course he never listened to me, so that figures. What do you want to do after this? It's pretty nice out. Let's change and go find a patio somewhere. Sounds good. I could really use a beer right now. Hey, did I ever tell you the time we tailgated? Did you ever end up clearing the air with your father? No, we talked a few times, but no, not really. He sounded like a difficult man. He was stubborn, that's just it. Stubborn. Listicles. At least they're no longer suffering. Were they saved? They're with the angels now. Let me know how I can help, and I know how you feel. You hate mushrooms so much, I found the perfect thing for you. I've been thinking about death. I know, shocker, look what you've done to me. I think I want this mushroom suit. No, it's not called that, but I'll remember the name of it. But I can't remember the name of it, and I'm writing you on my phone, so I don't feel like Googling it right now. Anyways, the idea is that it's a biodegradable suit that the deceased wears. It's made with what people call a biomix, mushrooms and other microorganisms that help to decompose bodies, neutralize toxins in the body, and provide nutrients for the soil for plants. I think this one company even offers casket liners for use in green caskets. I think this is what I want. It'll just be like Hannibal. Wait, don't tell people I said that, okay? But seriously, it's pretty cool. I love all the death innovation happening. We might as well do something when we're in the ground, you know? Love you. Think about it and let me know your thoughts. I want all of your thoughts. If it's not this, then maybe I'll have my ashes made into jewelry. But seriously, I'm probably going to do this. There's no harm in planning ahead, am I right? Oh, he had a will prepared and asked for cremation, demanded a traditional burial instead. Unfortunately, he didn't make anyone his power of attorney. We didn't have any witnesses sign his living will or his advance directive regarding these wishes. Legally in the right. Damn. The deceased's family asked for an open casket funeral. Let's start by cleaning the body. Damn. They're gonna do him dirty by not even giving him the body that he wanted. Or the funeral that he wanted. Eye caps. Glue. Cotton balls. Suture. Moisturize. Bam. Tubing. I'm so good. I'm so good at this. I'm gonna do a speed run of this game. Oh my god, there's so much to massage. Thank you. I wish I could like double click and go faster. I would very much prefer that. I still can't believe he did it. I feel I should have known, you know, been able to do something to stop it. There was no way to know. You can't blame yourself. He wouldn't have wanted that. I know, it hurts. Yeah. I know. I've personally never experienced a suicide in my life. I've heard about them, but none of my friends and family have committed suicide. It really fucking sucks. It's like it's just an absolutely tragic thing to happen. I heard it wasn't going to be open to casket. I'm surprised it's public. Usually funerals for these circumstances are more private. I wish we were closer. Wow, I still can't believe this is real. My baby brother. I should have played more games with him when he asked. There's a lot that you can question in the wake of a suicide. You know, hindsight's very much 2020 in this regard, but the most we can do is do our best to those that are living. March 3rd, 10:45. Stop pinging! I got it! Different funeral traditions. I just want to read about these. In Judaism, interment usually begins immediately after someone has passed. Body is never supposed to be alone, so often families will appoint a guardian to remain with the body. Preparations for burial beginning as soon as possible, and Muslim traditions as well. In the aughts, of South Korea, the amount of graveyard space began to shrink drastically, causing a law to be passed that requires families to remove the loved one's body from its burial place after 60 years. Many families began to cremate more often, but there are also companies that compress remains into beads in turquoise, pink, or black called death beads. Turning of the bones from Madahana, a ritual by the Malagasy people of Madagascar. The Madahana has families return to an ancestral crypt, exhume the bodies wrapped in cloth before dancing with the bodies to lively music. This practice is a celebration, remembrance, and way of keeping the deceased involved in family news. Huh, I've never heard of that. That's really cool. You're invited to attend a death cafe. Can't really write much right now. I have a lot to work. I have a lot of work I have to do. I have with an inguinal hernia from 1750. It's the oldest in our collection, and you can even see this bit of paper the surgeon put in after removing the hernia. Super cool. I'll send you the link when we have it cataloged. What is my life? What is that sentence I just typed? But anyway, this event that I'm forwarding you is taking place near you. Figured you'd be into it. Might help with that feeling of restlessness you were talking about before. Could be good to talk about some of the things you're feeling. Lots of death positive people there. Sounds like it'll be a safe space. Come increase awareness of death with a view to helping people make the most of their finite lives. Join us, have a tea and cake, and talk with others about our thoughts, views, and illuminations on death. The founder of the Death Cafe movement, John Underwood, once said, when people talk about death and dying, it tends to illustrate their humanity. See people at the Upside Down Jar next Thursday. Chad Grant. Oh, this is the new fucking owner. Ugh. 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 Below are the details for our next client, and so you follow the requested specifications exactly. I'll review your month in order to properly evaluate the year. We're gonna get fired. Thank you, Mr. Grant, for agreeing to take care of Jocelyn's cremation. The bike accident was, well, it was more than I was expecting. I know she wanted to be cremated, and to be honest, I don't think I could bear seeing her like that after what happened. Can I just say, first off, that this is bullcrap. Ugh. Knowing how these corporations run, I wouldn't be surprised if they're monitoring our emails now. No, okay, I don't really believe that. I'm just upset. I get that Amy didn't have much of a choice. You can only fight a huge corporation taking all of your business for so long. This isn't 6 feet under. And they just swooped in, and now we have to deal with their BS practices. They're colder than the corpse I picked up from the morgue this morning. Who charges this much for funerals? It feels dirty and exploitative. Let's grab a drink after work. I need to blow off some steam, and emails aren't really the most appropriate place to do this. Too late for me, I guess. If you are really reading this, Hillside Overlord, good. We are pleased to bring on Rose and Daughters as part of the Hillside Heritage Enterprises, Inc. They will be another institution among hundreds of other properties owned across the country. But, of course, as part of the adjustment process to the Hillside Heritage Enterprises, Inc. culture, there will be a number of changes that will come to Rose and Daughters. We will send out the memo regarding the specifics and details of these changes, and we expect them to be followed impeccably. Glad to be leading the way for Rose and Daughters from now on. Oh my god, this is super exploitative. Where's the fucking quotes? Yeah, they have to call us? Bro, bronze funeral, silver funeral, gold funeral. Shut the fuck up. Get out of my face. Oh, I have to do this. Burning the body. Oh, she's got little birds. She was always so careful, wore her helmets, signaled, used the bike lanes. Asshole drivers, they need to pay attention. Have you heard what's happening to the driver? No, I haven't wanted to ask Leah. This has been hard enough on them without asking about the legal ramifications of all this. Yeah, after all this, let's see what we can do to help them. Shouldn't deal with the death of their partner all by themselves. Do you see that? I see that. I see that. The they, them pronouns only. I see that. Yeah. Hell yeah. So glad it was cremation. I would have lost it seeing her body. I have to go through all of her things. How am I supposed to decide what to keep? If you need help, I can help. No, thanks. I mean, but no. I don't know. It's so intimate. Feels like I should do it myself. She would kill me if others saw the things we have. Yeah. She was kind of a closed book, except to you. Yeah. Yeah. She was special. I'm glad I'm here, but wow, I just need a glass of wine and to binge watch something right now. Girl, keep those comments to yourself. Be respectful. Should we do a vigil at the spot? Careless drivers, I swear to God. March 24th. Ooh, $7,000 to $10,000. I just saw a video of a gorilla walking on its hind legs. Like a human being, Charlie. A human being. We, as a species, have seen the beginning of our end. Girl. Gorillas have been walking on their hind legs. Hello? Latest contract acquisition in the city. Dispose of any unclaimed bodies. This is an important revenue stream for us, as I'm sure I don't need to explain to you, Charlotte. More cost effective. First unclaimed body. Middle-aged man, possibly homeless, whose body has yet to be claimed. No special preparations are needed for this cadaver aside from cremation. I reviewed your request on behalf of a potential family inquiring if we at Hillside Heritage Enterprise Inc. Can and will perform group burials. We do not perform them as they are not cost effective. All employees and subsidiaries must comply. We do not wish to lose potential customers, so do try your hardest to convince the families requesting group burials to instead choose a traditional burial package instead. I trust you will ensure we do not lose any customers. Oh, fuck you. Go fuck yourself. First and foremost, there is a required uniform and strict dress code from now on. Secondly, and most importantly, is that there are no tattoos are to be visible. If you have visible tattoos, ensure they are properly covered and hidden. When speaking with customers and clients, consider the opportunity to upsell. Oh my god, people are dead. Do not upsell a fucking funeral. My god. Additionally, food is no longer allowed to be brought in. Purchase a premium sandwich and appetizer food package? Our partner catering concept? Oh my god. This is some evil shit. This is some evil shit. I know this is how it is now, but like this is some evil fucking shit. Oh god. My god. Okay. Yeah. I'll fucking burn the homeless. That definitely isn't at all dystopian. Need to prepare his body. Doesn't have any valuables. Yes, put the identification tag. Be really funny if he had a pacemaker and it blew up and then we damaged the property. But then we would get fired. I wonder what they do with the urn. Because if no one claims him, then, like, what are you going to do? Okay. That's fucking sobering. April 9th, 10:19 a.m. That's when Little Nas X was born. Fun fact. Or not the exact time, but the day. April 9th. That's his birthday. Okay. Why? Who cares? Dating a special effects makeup artist, and she is like the coolest person I've ever met in my life. She totally loves Ava's possession and was equally freaked out by the possession scenes, but so utterly delighted at the idea of a support group for people who have been possessed. That was your best recommendation in a while, Charlie. You were slipping there. I was getting worried you had lost your taste. But yeah, her name is Lily, and she's super death positive and isn't freaked out by my work and also isn't too into it. Like that last dude I saw. Jason? Michael? Gah, can't remember. I just really like spending time around her. I can talk about whatever I want, and it's never a conversation stopper. She also totally gets what I mean when I say that, like, working with death and spending so much time thinking about death actually makes me happier. It makes everything feel so much more worth it, you know? Memento Mori or whatever they taught us in that one poetry class we took. We just clicked. Feels good. Fun and affirming like dating should be. I'm thinking of taking her to Maple Meadows. She's super into roller coasters, and I think the idea of sharing cotton candy, or maybe not, I don't want to throw up on rides, is sickeningly cute. Then maybe I'll kiss her on top of the Ferris wheel. Be super corny and cliche for once in my life. Anywho, enough about me for now. I'm still kind of in shock from your last email. Do you think you're going to do it? You know you have my support 100% no matter what you decide. Yeah, quitting. My skills are useful in other professions, but you're too good for this corporate scum. You actually care about the people you work with and for. Don't let them defeat you, okay? My God. That's... Wait, are we registering a business? Oh, we're registering a business. Oh, yes, yes, yes. We're starting our own little business. It's gonna be green burials. It's gonna be cheap. People can actually bury their dead respectfully. Clean the body. I kind of doubt that they would cover so much of the deceased body, but also at the same time, I'm not a funeral director. So I could be wrong. It also could just exist because of wanting to keep the game at a more accessible. It's just censored. And that's totally understandable. I'm not going to blame them for that. Okay. Suture. Suck, 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 suck. Suck, 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 suck. Suck, 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 suck. Suck, 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 suck. Okay, there you go. This feels so impersonal. She would have hated this. Yeah, but I don't know. They must have had their reasons. Mm-hmm. Hey, oh hey, what did you think of that trailer I sent you? Oh yeah, I've heard that show is so good. I saw that video of the one kid actor doing karaoke. Is it just me, or have I noticed that there's like been an increasing like loss of respect at these funerals as like they've become more and more impersonal? Like it feels like that's been like an intentional thing that the dev has done. Do you think we did the right thing? I feel bad not doing what Mom asked for. I know, honey, but what that Chad guy said seems right. We don't want to dishonor her memory by letting her rot. Yeah, I just want Mom to know I loved her. I wish I hadn't yelled at her before. Shh. It's okay. She knew you loved her. Fights happen. Please don't be hard on yourself. Yeah. I'm going to miss her. Me too. God, it's so... I fucking hate people like Chad. I hate them. You gotta upsell. Gotta take advantage of people in their vulnerable moments. Make me that money. It's so cold in here. I think they have the air conditioning on too high. Yeah, let's go for a walk maybe. It's really nice out. Be good to stretch my legs. I'm starving. Why do these things always make me so hungry? You're always hungry. Me. August 30th. Yeah, I got my own little place. Oh, look, mushrooms and butterflies and more thingies. Congratulations on your new business, Charlie. I am so happy for you. I know it's been a rough year for you. Seriously, I think our wine intakes are a bazillion% increase. But you stuck through it like a champ. You deserve this. Finally, being your own boss is a great move for you. No more having to explain anything you don't want to. I'm trying to not be too cheesy right now. Can't wait to be home next week for our visit and to check out your new space. Have you heard about these green burial pods? When I find the link in one of my 1 million open tabs, I'll shoot it over to you. You never believe what new job I am working now. Open the email to find out. Hey, Charlie. When I first became a hearse driver, I was told that my most important job wasn't steering. It was sympathizing. I respectfully disagree. And thankfully, I'm concentrating on my driving skills since I'm now working for as a bus driver, a school bus driver, Charlie. Can you believe that? Pretty sure if I said the most important part of my job now wasn't steering, I'd be fired immediately. I don't know how else to tell you. For some reason, I was worried you'd think less of me, but I don't know why. You'd never been the judgmental kind. And besides, corpses are way easier to deal with than children. Screaming children, might I add. I actually love it. These kids can be pretty cute, but don't tell Amy that I told you that. She was always harping at me for not having any kids and for being all cynical about them. Congrats on your new business, Charlie. I'm proud of you. I'll swing by your new place one day and show you my new wheels. Maybe we can grab a good bite to eat. Be seeing you. Matthew J. Charlie, dear, I am so proud of you. I knew there was something special in you when I hired you for Rose and Daughters. If there is anything I can do for you, please do not hesitate to ask. I am always happy to help. Best wishes, Amy Rose. I sorely miss you and Matthew's terrible sense of humor. Look at that. Look at how cheap that is. It's going to be so hard for a big business to muscle in on that because, as they said it themselves, it is not at all good for their bottom line to do something that cheap. This hurts. I thought it'd be easier, but it's not. It hurts so much, but thank you for helping me give her the funeral she always wanted. Anyway, I think we're ready to get started now. Yeah, I think we need to stop commercializing death. I think that's really easy to say, but it is just as simple as like, you know, educating yourself on traditional burial practices and looking into it and deciding what you really want for yourself instead of, you know, just kind of going with it and getting stuck with thousands upon thousands of dollars spent on just keeping you in a metal box for all of eternity. I know that I don't want, I know that I don't want that. And who knows, maybe if you're not death positive, or like, you know, death kind of puts you off, maybe you can benefit from looking at that sort of thing and thinking about it, thinking about death in a way that's connected to you but not like so immediate. I know that I used to struggle a lot with it, but I'm a lot better now. I've spent a lot of time thinking about death and what comes after. This has been a beautiful game. I love the music, I love the art style, the writing is great. It's such a good, it has a lot of messages in it. Not things that are sort of involved directly with the narrative, but it has a lot of messages in it that are very useful, very helpful for people, especially, you know, our non this heterosexual white audience or anyone like that. There are people out there that have different traditions than you. There are people out there that will ask for what might seem to you as strange requests upon their death. There are people out there that will have, you know, traditions or funerals that they have in mind that you should respect. Because the least that we can do after someone is dead is to give them the proper respect in their death. And it makes my blood boil to see, even if it is fictional, because I know that this is very much real, to see commercialization and capitalism claim the funeral industry. Like, it's just evil. It's just vile. I hope that you all had as calm and relaxing a time as I did. And I hope that this really helped you think a lot more about death in a new and positive light. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.